Every day, photographers tell me that they struggle with what and how to charge for sessions and products, and I get it. There's a lot of chatter in the online space, and that's why today I'm breaking down my exact pricing strategy for portrait and boudoir photographers. Hey, boudoir photographers! Are you ready to be totally booked out with high-paying clients? I'm Tracy Lynn, and I went from side hustle photographer to running a $1 million boudoir photography business, working just 30 hours a month. That's right, just 30 hours a month. On this podcast, I tell you how I did it and how you can too. Hey there and welcome back. I talk to a lot of photographers every day, and one thing they all seem to struggle with is being comfortable with pricing. And I mean, also marketing strategy and booking clients, but that's another episode for another day. So let's stick with pricing today. And I get it. I get why it's a struggle. Pricing is one of those things that you can never feel 100% confident about, but you can get very close to perfect if you follow a few easy suggestions. More on that in a few minutes. First, though, I want to say one thing. I hate the saying, make what you're worth. Well, because you're a human. I'm not putting a monetary value on a person, you know? But at the same time, you can put a price tag on your time, talent, and education. And that's what I'm talking about, at least when I say charge what you're worth. Today, I want to share my pricing strategy for all photographers, well, portrait and boudoir photographers at least. And this strategy will also help you book out your schedule. It's like a pricing and marketing episode all in one because yes, there are marketing principles involved when talking about pricing, and be sure to stay until the end. I'm giving you exactly how I present my price list to clients before the session, and that's going to help you stay booked out with amazing clients who never think twice about your pricing strategy. All right, let's dive in. The first step to your photography pricing strategy is knowing your sales average goal. A sales average goal is your goal for every session sale, just like it says. And it's honestly really easy to figure out if you know a few numbers. And I've talked about exactly how to figure your sales average goal several times. I'm going to link a YouTube video in the show notes, though, about exactly how to figure out your sales average goal. Basically, though, it's total revenue divided by the number of clients your schedule can handle. So back to that YouTube video, it's called How Exactly to Grow a Boudoir Business to 6 Figures in a Year. And like I said, it's linked in the show notes. Let's talk about an example. Let's say your goal revenue is $75,000 and you can photograph 50 clients per year. That means your sales average goal would be $1,500 per session. Why is it important to know your sales average goal though? Well, once you know your sales average goal, then you can create a price list built around that goal. A price list built around this sales average will help you hit your total revenue goal as long as you book the number of clients you need. And that's a marketing strategy episode that we will definitely talk about later, or I'm sure I've talked about it in the past. Go binge the podcast if you want to. The second step in your photography pricing strategy is to decide what you want to offer on your price list. Depending on your business level, you can lay out your offers in collections or packages, a la carte options like individually, or even build your own packages. For simplicity's sake though, and because you are listening to this episode, I'm going to stick with an a la carte price list today. For a boudoir photographer, I think it's very important to have at least 5 album options. Let's say it's a 6x6, an 8x8, a 10x10, then 2 really awesome, holy cow, these are beautiful albums. Then you're going to want wall portraits, gift prints, which gift prints are 5x7s or 8x10s, and possibly even digital collections alone. You're probably asking, why do I need wall portraits, Tracy, if you're a boudoir photographer? Because your boudoir clients probably aren't really interested in seeing their images on a wall in their home. Maybe they are, but most of my clients aren't because I'm in the Midwest and most of my clients are pretty conservative. And maybe they won't want wall portraits, but that's going to help put more value on the albums because, for example, if one wall portrait is $999, but an album of 10 images is $999, they immediately see more value in that album. And I'm going to cover exactly how to set your pricing for your photography pricing guide. But if you want to know exactly how much each product should be, check out my photography pricing calculator in my TLC shop. It factors in all of your expenses and gives you the exact number you need to charge in order to meet your personal and business goals. And I will link that in the show notes as well. The third step in your photography pricing strategy is to lay it all out with a little bit of sales psychology. And first things first, let's talk about the actual numbers. In the show notes, I'm going to include an example of my price list so you can see what I'm talking about. But the best thing about my price list is that it guides your clients to your sales average goal without you needing to feel salesy at all. And to do this, I want to talk about 3 specific concepts about sales psychology for a photography price list specifically. The first thing you want to take into consideration when laying out your price list is the left digit effect. When I say the left digit effect, what I'm talking about is like a consumer's perception that are disproportionately influenced by the leftmost digit of the product price. So for example, let's say that you have a $1,599 album and they think that that's a $1,500 album instead of a $1,600 album. Like my clients have literally said that, by the way. I think I'm going to go with a $1,500 album when it's basically $1,600. And I've seen this work in my own life and with my clients. So today we went to Mexican and I looked at the street tacos. They were $5.99. And I told Tommy, I was like, I'm going to get a street taco since it's only $5. Have you caught yourself doing something like that or saying something similar? I think we all have. The second thing you want to take into consideration when laying out your price list is ending prices in a 9. According to research, prices in a 9 or 5 tend to attract more people towards a product than other numbers. I've heard a few photography educators prefer ending their products and pricing in 5, but 9 has always worked really well for me, and I just stick with that. I just feel like it makes my price list look more cohesive. A 5 just always felt off to me for some reason. And the third thing that you want to take into consideration when laying out your price list is your sales average goal. Whatever your sales average goal is, that should be your middle price. So for example, let's say that you have a sales average goal of $1,500 and you have 5 albums on your price list. That very middle album should be $1,500 or $1,499 if you're following the other 2 things that I just discussed. But remember, you want that very middle album to be the album every client wants at minimum. My middle album, personally, on my photography price list is an 8x8 with 14 photos. A client would love to have more, but they're more than happy with this album in the end. Like I said, they'd love to have that bigger album, but that 8x8 is perfect. It feels good in their hands. It's not too small, and it's exactly what they envisioned when they booked their boudoir session. Remember to keep these wall portraits on your pricing guide. They're going to give more value to the albums and push a client to purchasing an album, which ultimately, as a boudoir photographer, that's what we want, right? All right, now let's talk about the 4th tip for a photography pricing strategy and being able to book out with amazing boudoir photography clients. And that is exactly how you should lay it out on your website, your booking link, and how to talk about it with your clients, whether that's in a consult or through email or even your DMs. Now, I don't show my price list at all until after the session. And my clients don't even really question this because I prepare them in a specific way to help them understand the investment before the session. And like I said, it is on my website. It's on my booking link. It's how I talk about it with my clients in email or in a consult. This is the exact wording I say in all 4 of these places. My session fee is $299. That includes hair and makeup, 4 outfit changes, and the session time. Albums start at $699, range up to $49.99, and my average client spends around $1,000 to $2,000, depending on their price point. Popular question: yes, digital files of the images in the album are also included, and I have payment plan options available as needed as well. Now, my personal sales average goal and what I actually accomplish is $2,500. So this obviously works. And in 8 years of doing business in St. Louis, I've had 1 client with an issue with this, literally just 1. So obviously the strategy works. If you get just one thing out of this episode, I want you to remember that a lot goes into a price list that will help you actually hit your goals, live your life, and experience the freedom that I know you started your business for. I mean, sure, you wanted to photograph beautiful clients, create art, right? But if you're also ready to give up your 9 to 5 and go full-time doing something you love, I want you to know your photography business can give you that and more easily. And if that's truly your goal, don't just throw your price list together with random numbers and some random education or a price list you got off of the internet. Put the time into your price list. Put the thought into building your price list. And your ultimate goals need to be in mind as you do it, like your salary and your schedule goals. And this is so that you can actually build a business that puts your life first, not the other way around. Sure, it takes a little bit of trial and error, but it's a lot less trial and error than you would think if you put thought and strategy behind your price list from the beginning. And if you need help with this, well, you know I'm here, and I want to encourage you to download my free guide, 5 Targets to Spot Check in Your Boudoir Business this year. In this guide, I walk you through exactly what you need to look at in your business if you want to hit your first or next 6 figures in the easiest way possible this year. I'll add the link in the show notes. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. Please be sure to rate and follow so that you never miss an episode. They drop every Thursday and they're always full of super actionable information for you to apply right now in your boudoir business. Until then, make your next shoot your best shoot.